Fantasy Suites are next week, and it seems like something goes horribly wrong. Let's take a look at this new sneak peek for next week's episode of The Bachelor. Hey guys, it's Kayla Thompson. We are going to be breaking down this brand new preview of The Bachelor. Before we do, give this video a like and subscribe to Shared News, and also hit that little notification bell so you never miss out when we post our videos. I'm joined today by Kayla Galloway. KG, it's Wednesday mid-week, and we had 2 whole episodes of The Bachelor this week. Tons of content to take in. How are you holding up? Because it was a lot.
I loved every second of it. And by the way, so good to see you. I feel like it's been forever. And I have so many thoughts about this new fantasy suite teaser. We're seeing stuff we've never seen before, and I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a crazy episode next week. I can't wait to dive into this preview. But before we get into it, I did want to give us some props because we had some great news from last night's episode that we were right all along. Our it girl
Called it since day one.
Has been crowned. Okay, we called this from day one. We deserves all the props. Charity is the new Bachelorette. I'm super excited. I don't know what else to say. I think she's going to be incredible. It was super cute the way they did it. Jesse was being very dramatic about it, but it was cute the way they surprised her. I can't wait. Do you think she's going to be, I don't know, the best Bachelorette yet? What do you think?
She's going to be an incredible Bachelorette. I don't think that there's any doubts I have in her. I'm not going to lie. There was a little piece of me holding out for Ariel. I'll get over it because I do love and respect Charity, and I'm excited for her season. But I would have also loved the Ariel season. Who knows? She could be one of those OGs that come back in a few years and become like the Bachelorette. So I haven't given up hope. But I love Charity this season. I love her just such pure and authentic reaction to becoming the Bachelorette, her calling her mom. It was just the cutest thing ever. So happy
cute
for her. And I think it was really what was meant to happen.
No, for sure. I think it all happened the way it was supposed to, like you said. Ariel, I think, is tailor-made for Paradise. So I think she'll go there. Maybe like what you said, she might come out of Paradise, become a Bachelorette next couple years. We'll have to see what happens. But first, we have to see Ariel go through Fantasy Suite Week. So let's get into this preview for Fantasy Suites because there's so much for us to talk about.
News.
We're flying!
I am so in love, and I can't wait to share it.
I have never felt this way in my entire.
All right, so Zach has brought his final 3 to Thailand for overnights. We see Gabby on her date with Zach on a huge boat. We hear Zach saying he's so in love. He can't wait to share it. So it's official. Zach is in love. But the question is with who? Because we also see Katie kind of saying, you know, she's never felt this way. So going into Fantasy Suite Week, KG, who do you think is the front runner?
I think it's hands down Katie. I think the way he interacts with her all season, and specifically there's a meme going around of the moment that Katie says that she's falling in love with him, where we see teeth. I don't think we've ever seen him smile with teeth before. And to me, just the body language is just so apparent to me. And it's really hers to lose at this point, in my opinion. What about you?
Yeah. No, I listen, I've been saying for a while that I felt like it was Gabby. Like something in me was like, I think it's Gabby. Like, I don't know. But after hometowns this week, and I did see the meme that you're talking about of that shot of Zach kind of, the way he looks at Katie, it's just different than the way he looks at anybody else. So I'm starting to feel like I do think it's Katie's to lose. I think you're absolutely onto something. So, but I think it's going to be a tough decision for Zach, and we'll talk about that moving forward. But yeah, let's take a look at our next clip and see what we can see.
I have 3 incredible relationships with 3 incredible women. I'm falling in love with you, and I can tell you 10 million times again and again. I could see myself spending the rest of my life with any of them.
So more Fantasy Suite date footage. Ariel and Zach are on some kind of version of like a carriage buggy bike thing. And we see Gabby and Zach kissing in the ocean. And then there's a second clip of Gabby and Zach, but I want you to pay attention because this is interesting. She's in the clip of them in the ocean. She's wearing like a cream bathing suit. They're kissing. And then there's a second clip where Zach does tell her he's falling in love with her. He could tell her a million times over. But she's wearing a completely different bathing suit in that second clip. It's like a purple kind of strap bathing suit, and she's got this little clip in her hair. So I don't know. This might be like a little flub in the editing, but to me, that's definitely telling two different dates, right? Like I think it's the final
Yeah.
three fantasy suite date, potentially a final two date. So what do you make of that?
Your eyes. I just mine don't have the same abilities as yours. I definitely did not see that unless she pulls like a Mindy Kaling at the Oscars and did like an outfit change. Like I
Right,
think you're
right.
totally right, and Gabby is top two, and I feel like that observation you just made kind of proves it. I think, but am I
Mm,
surprised that she's top two? No, I always thought it was gonna
mhm.
be Gabby and Katie at the top two. And then
Yeah,
it was always interchangeable with Charity and Ariel. I never thought well, maybe
right.
Charity, I thought maybe she could win, but Ariel, I just always thought,
Mhm.
I just never thought she's gonna make it to top two, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, no, no. I totally agree. I think like you said, we've been saying it for weeks. Katie and Gabby are the two front runners. Charity, Ariel, kind of like interchangeable. So yeah, it's no surprise to me. I think that's why maybe my eye caught it because I was maybe looking for it. And I think I caught something else that Katie is in fact in final two too as well. So
Ooh,
we'll see that later. Let's move on to the next
I
clip.
love it.
I definitely am falling in love with you.
But how do I make a decision when my heart is being pulled in separate directions? Real feelings are at stake, and everything can change in a day.
All right, so a lot going on in this little clip. Of course, Ariel's, telling Zach she's falling in love. We have heard her say that before, so no surprise there. But this is what I was talking about. Katie is wearing a different outfit in this little clip than she was in the first shot that we saw earlier in the preview. In this clip, she's got a green tank top, shorts. But in the first clip we saw where she was telling him, I've never felt this way before, she's wearing a black top. So again, two different outfits going on that I'm seeing. So I'm feeling like it's two different dates. So I'm not trying to just spoil everybody around here, but I'm just saying it's in the preview. They're showing it to me. It's right in my face. I think we're seeing here that whatever happens, I don't know because there's a lot in this preview to uncover. But Katie and Gabby, I think, are going to make it to final two. But I have a question for you, KG, because later on in this clip we just watched, Zach is saying that anything can kind of happen in the next few days. Like, anything can change. And I have thoughts about that. But my question is if you were Zach, if you were the lead,
Hmm.
how would you be
Ooh,
making
okay.
this decision? Because it seems like Zach is kind of taking it like moment by moment, right? Like going off of his gut. But this is a long term decision of an engagement. And so I don't know, how would you go about making this decision of like, okay, who am I gonna propose to?
Yeah, I think definitely going with your gut works for a majority part of the show, like how Zach has been doing. But once you get to fantasy suites, there's a lot more just like real tangible things
Mhm.
that could affect the relationship of the person you choose. We've heard from a lot of
Yeah,
couples who have ended up together after The Bachelor. Sometimes they just cannot get over what happened on the show. Like, for example,
right.
Caitlin Bristow and Sean Booth, they couldn't get over Nick Viall. Caitlin and Sean were engaged for years, and Caitlin has expressed in some of her podcasts and interviews that all of their fights really kept leading back to Nick Viall and what happened on the show. And I think it also
Mm,
shows when you're younger too, compared to her, she's now in a Bachelor Nation relationship with Jason Tardik, and they hang out with Becca and Thomas. And
right.
Jason was on Becca's season of the
Yeah,
like spider web of Bachelor. It's like
I
hilarious.
know. It's
But
so true.
but it's really interesting to like it's not just a TV show. If you are wanting an actual relationship out of this at the end, what you
Mhm.
do, especially in these final weeks, matter.
Yeah.
And I think it's also important to note that like Katie and Gabby, I've loved seeing their like friendship kind of bloom over the season
Mhm.
and seeing if they
Mhm.
are top two, seeing kind of how that affects their friendship as well. Because
Yeah.
I love them together. Their bathtub scene, like a couple weeks back, it was hilarious.
Yeah, so cute.
Yeah, so definitely these last few weeks matter for that lasting relationship. What do you think, Kayla?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a great point you made about Caitlyn and Sean with not getting over Nick, but Jason and they hang out with Becca, it's like it's, your maturity, but also kind of like the decisions you made on your season. And so, yeah, it's fascinating because Zach is young. And I think he is going off of this kind of, I'm just going with my gut. I mean, I think he's been very intentional and wise in a lot of ways and how he's moved throughout the season. But yeah, he has been talking a lot the last couple weeks about like, I've made this decision right before the rose ceremony, or I kind of just went with my gut or in the moment. And I think there's a lot of like validity to doing that, but in other ways it's like you do want to be careful, and I think that's kind of what he might be trying to do this week as well. Let's watch the next clip because this is where he's kind of trying to do the head versus heart decisions here.
This week is viewed as sex week. This is the week where can hit the fan. It's not conventional, but I decided that there will be no sex of any kind.
It's funny to me. No sex of any kind at all.
Very specific.
So yeah, there it is. Zach has deemed this week sex week, but for him, the very opposite because he's trying not to have sex whatsoever. And Jesse's basically like, in the next clip we'll see. He's Jesse obviously is gonna say, "Are you gonna be able to do that?" So yeah, KG, is this the way to go? Because of what we just talked about, it's like, yeah, we want to make wise decisions. We want to be aware of like not just what's going on in this moment, in this season, of this filming of this show, but we have to have a life with the person that we maybe will be with outside of this, after this, and move forward. So yeah, how do you think this is gonna pan out for Zach? What do you make of this no sex at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a smart idea, and a lot of bachelors in the past have gotten in trouble this week, but it's almost like he's setting himself up for failure if he doesn't actually live up to what he said. Because to me, that's like kind of red flag. I was like, okay, you said you're going to do one thing and you did something else. And even if he does end up sleeping with the person that he wants to choose at the end of this, it kind of shows the lack of respect for the other two girls if he was really trying to be respectful for everyone left, right?
Yeah. No, it's true. I think what you said something earlier of like he's setting himself up for failure, and I think like for me it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't sometimes with fantasy suites. When it comes to being the Bachelor, it's really interesting to me how the Bachelor and the way that the pressure of fantasy suites week is put on them versus like the Bachelorette. I think with Michelle or with Katie, I don't think we were concerned of if they had sex with everyone or not. We didn't even really like know, or that wasn't, it almost is like kind of joked about. But yeah, I don't know, for some reason it's like there's this pressure, and it's like, are you going to sleep with everybody? And for the guys. And I can see where that can come from, especially for Zach coming off of Clayton's season and what happened with him. It's like, I understand that, why he is making this decision. But yeah, it's exactly like you said. If you do have sex with one person or everybody, then you're seen one way. If you have sex with nobody, okay, cool, I guess that works. But are you going to be able to live up to that? So it's tough. I think it was going to be tough either way. But let's keep moving forward and see what happens next.
You're going to be able to pull this off because you are going to be tempted.
Zach is looking delicious tonight.
This is such a magical moment.
So, yep, just like we thought, Jesse's like, are you going to be able to keep this up? Are you going to be able to pull this off? And so, yeah, we're seeing like different flashes of him with the different girls. So we're starting to get the impression that maybe he's not going to hold up his end of the bargain. Ariel is saying Zach is looking delicious tonight. And I want us to keep that in mind because I think that I have a theory. I know maybe KG, you have a different theory maybe about
I don't know, it could be the same.
It could be the same. Yeah, it might be the same. But I think there's another version of what could be happening with what happens in Fantasy Suites Week, right? It could be Ariel is what I'm getting at. We hear Ariel saying that. But also, obviously, could be someone else. Let's keep going though, because I feel like as we go, we'll have more to unpack. So let's just watch the next one.
It feels so right with him.
Something really special happened.
What's going on? Talk to me.
This is where it gets
There
juicy.
we go. This is where it gets good. Something really special happened. And obviously Jesse is like, okay, so what's going on? So I think that is, I don't know, I feel like that is confirmation that he did have sex. But the question is, who did he have sex with? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the something special is sex, or it could be something else? It could be I told someone I was in love, or I don't know. What are you what are you thinking at this point?
I totally think he had sex with one of the women, like hands down. I have actually no doubts about that. I'm sticking to it. But
Okay.
the question of who, it goes between Katie and Ariel for me. Initially, I was thinking Ariel, and that Katie is upset about it because she's really the front runner and who he could end up with, and so that could really mess things up for their future relationship. Or if it's Katie, it's going to ruin things in a way. It's the lack of communication, I think, and the fact that he has sex with her, even though he said he was not going to have sex with anyone, and then you see him in I'm kind of jumping ahead, but you see him in a future clip kind of saying he maybe regretted certain things. So is he telling Katie that he regretted crossing that line with her? Or I don't know. There's so much up in the air.
I know. Yeah, no, there's so much going on. There's so much up in the air. There's so much that could happen or didn't happen. I'm excited for next week, but let's watch the next clip because I think, there's another point I want to make, but let's watch the next one before I make it.
Waking up this morning, I've had this like pit in my stomach. I feel like I let myself down, and I feel like I let the women down by saying one thing and doing another.
Well, yeah, there we go. Saying one thing, doing another. You said it earlier, KG. He obviously breached the sex pact. I think that has to be what it is, right? Because like, what else could he have done? But let's watch the next one because I want to get into when the women start unraveling. It's a lot.
The fallout.
It's not fair. What the am I supposed to feel? Why am I putting myself through this pain? I don't know why I'm doing it to myself.
I don't want you to feel like I regretted anything that we did.
Okay, so I don't mean to be smiling about this, but Gabby's storming off. She's super upset. She doesn't know how to feel. Okay, there's so much. So Zach obviously told Gabby about what we think is him breaching the sex pact, is what I'm calling it now. And so again, I do want us to keep in mind that Gabby is wearing the cream bathing suit, same bathing suit that her and Zach were kissing in the ocean earlier in the prior clip. So I'm guessing that this is the day portion of the fantasy suite date. And I don't know, it's weird because we did see her go to the fantasy suite with Zach. So if this is the day portion, then obviously whatever happens is okay. But then my brain starts racking of like, we saw a different date of her in a different outfit. And then there's also the order of these fantasy suite dates. So like whoever he slept with was before Gabby, right? Are you tracking with me, KG? Like there's a lot that kind of has to fall into place. And so I don't know whether it's Ariel or Katie in my head, they have to at least have gone second or at least third, to have, I don't know, because I don't know. Am I making sense? This is all kind of driving me crazy. But I think the order has a lot to do with what's happening. You know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, we saw in Clayton's season, they made Susie go last because she was, the front runner and she knew there was going to be drama there. So it'll be interesting to see if Katie goes last and he already had these conversations with Ariel and Gabby that he was not going to have sex on these fantasy suites, which ends up being a straight lie. I know for me, at least in my relationship, like trust is, in my experience, trust is everything. And once that breaks, it's really hard to get back. And when you talk about the different outfits and switches, that would be interesting if he has the overnight with Katie before Gabby's, but I'm not fully understanding all the different outfits, to be honest with you. Because in my head, was thinking
Yeah.
Gabby would be told, there's almost like the fallout that this would maybe be top two and he
Mhm.
tells her or something like that. I don't
Okay,
know. But
so
then what would be the
in your head,
point? I
this
don't
could be
know.
this could be the final 2 date, but they're showing it as if it happens Fantasy Suite week, but it's the fallout. Yeah, that definitely
Yeah.
could be. I think the other interesting thing is that the preview is kind of trying to make us think, in my opinion, the editing is trying to make us think that it is Ariel because we just saw Zach say, I don't want you to think that what we did, that I regret it. But then they show a clip right after he says that of Ariel. So I don't know. I don't know who it is. I don't know what happens. I don't know what to think. Let's watch
Yeah.
the
The
next
only
one and
one we
let's see what we can. Yeah.
can I just say one line really
Go ahead.
quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
The only one we know probably for sure isn't the one he slept with is Gabby. I think really we're just between
Right.
Ariel and Katie now.
I think so too. I think so too. Let's watch the next clip and see what we can uncover from that.
It's a beautiful moment. It feels right.
How am I to keep moving forward? I'm confused. I feel distant from him. I'm not happy.
Okay. So now Katie's upset. We see her walking off. She wants to go home. Zach is telling her, I'm sorry. He's wearing in that clip of him saying, I'm sorry, he's wearing kind of a dark t-shirt. It seems like she is wearing that green tank top. Hair is in the same bun as when she walks off, right? So that
Hmm.
could be the start of that moment of him telling Katie that either he slept with Ariel, right? Or that he doesn't necessarily regret him and Katie sleeping together, but that it's somehow tainted things. I don't know what he could be saying, but oh my gosh, this preview is driving me up a wall. Tell me what you think, KG, because I don't even know.
Yeah, if the scenario is Katie who he slept with and he's trying to explain to her that he doesn't regret what happened, but he regrets disrespecting other women, I feel like that's understandable. What might be happening here is
Sure.
sometimes Zach doesn't explain himself very well. Some of his
Mhm.
responses to the women kind of throughout the season, I'm not sure if he knows how to express himself in maybe the most accurate way. So I think Katie
Yeah.
really, if it was her who he slept with, he just does not communicate kind of the situation and how he's feeling maybe accurately to his heart. And this is
Mhm.
gonna, if it is Katie at the end, and if he sleeps with Katie and their first time is tainted like this, I do think it could carry on
Right.
in their relationship after the show. So
Mm,
it really sucks that it had to go down so negatively for them because they've really, Katie and Zach, I
yeah,
don't remember any bumps in the road from them for them.
I know. I know this would be their first bump in the road. And so it'll be interesting if it's in my head if it's kind of like, hey, we slept together. I don't know, it kind of whatever. I don't know how to feel about it or something. That's one thing. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out which could be worse. Did you sleep with someone else or you kind of want to take back what happened with us? But it whatever it is, it's not the best scenario, and I'm trying to figure out how Zach could have avoided it. Who knows? I mean, I guess first we got to know even what it is that happened. But we only have a few clips left for this preview, so let's keep moving forward.
I literally just want to go home.
Coming into this, I wanted to do the right thing. I went with my head, not my.
So Katie, at this point, she just wants to go home. Like, my gosh, what the heck happened? At this point, okay, KG, I'm starting to feel like even with this clip we just saw of him consoling Gabby and Ariel's upset and I don't know, like I'm starting to think it might be more than just I slept with someone, oops, and I said I wouldn't. Like even thinking about last night when with Jesse at the Woman Tell All, he was talking about like this is no laughing matter with Sex Week. It's really, really crazy. Now Jesse hypes everything up. We know that. He hypes everything up. But I'm starting to feel like maybe something else happened here. But I can't think of what it could be. I don't know. What do you think? Because, there's nothing new under the sun necessarily. Is there anything that we can think of for previous seasons that we've seen before of like towards the end, the Bachelor made this crazy decision or something happened. I don't know. What do you think could be happening here other than just the sex situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're on the right track, and I think it is more about the lying and deceiving, but all the emotions are so heightened because you think of like, oh my God, my friends are gonna see this, the world is gonna see this, and like saw me
Yeah.
kind of getting like, just following along with Zach and him telling me one thing and completely lying to me in front of the whole world, and maybe even feeling kind of a little
Mm,
bit of humiliation of like, okay, you
right.
said one thing and then you're doing this and it's different for her. Like feeling just like maybe not the
Hmm.
feeling of not being enough. And like, Gabby has and Ariel have both really described their past heartbreaks. And it's probably
Yeah.
just
So
coming, all
true.
of it's just kind of coming up with this. From past seasons to now, I feel like this has just been the most like there hasn't been a lot of crazy stuff happening, things that like bring the kind of emotions out in the girls. So this is their first time really experiencing it. And maybe it's like bottled up for the whole season. And now they're just all
Mm,
kind of exploding with this one kind of thing happening. I don't know. That's kind of, I just don't see
yeah.
it. I don't see a scenario of anything else on top of it. I'm sure there's maybe sort of details of
Right.
what we don't see because, I mean, just like Zach and Rachel,
Sure.
when they went to their fantasy suites,
Right.
we still don't fully know what happened. Right? So there
So
might be a
true.
little bit of
Yeah.
mystery element there.
Yeah, KG, you're probably right. I think we're on the right track in terms of the sex pact being broken. I think it's just an emotional thing, the humiliation of it. You made a really great point. Yeah, we'll just have to see what exactly happened because there's so much that could be edited in or out, and we'll have to just watch the whole thing unfold. Um, but yeah, let's watch our last clip and we'll discuss everything.
And that was the worst thing I could have done. I've caused pain and I've made mistakes, but true love is worth fighting for. Just trying to figure this out.
He's got a ring.
Well, there he's got the ring. So this is the thing, we see Zach. It's obviously final rose ceremony day, proposal day, fresh blue suit. There is a shot of him upset, crying, but then he's holding the ring. So the season could potentially end very, very well. But at the very end of that little clip, he does say, I'm just trying to figure this out. And he's teary and emotional. So this has me thinking, to be honest with you, this has me thinking that Zach is going to make this final two decision literally like the morning of. Because like he said with hometowns last week, he was like, I woke up in the morning not knowing what I wanted to do. Like the all season or the past couple weeks of this season, it's been him making decisions because he's had to. Um, so I don't know. Like, it's gonna be tough, in my opinion. This is gonna be a really close, like, like whoever the final two is. We're thinking Gabby and Katie. It's gonna be neck and neck. Um, but yeah, KG, what do you think of that? What do you think? Any final predictions for the whole season? How the season will end, but also from this whole preview because we've seen a lot of it.
Yeah, after watching this, I was actually trying to think back because we have seen him at kind of, at the final rose, there's a really pretty production and the two women walk up, one breaks up, one, gets engaged. But what if
Yeah.
he sends Gabby home before this final rose ceremony and he's more trying to figure out how to win Katie back versus picking between two people? That's kind of what just popped in my head, and I
The
feel like I might be onto something.
storyline.
Because he doesn't talk about being torn between two people in that. He talks about he just doesn't know what to do because maybe he's afraid to lose Katie. Maybe? And then also
I
something
could see that.
right? Also something to think about kind of going through all these clips. We don't see Zach consoling Ariel. We see a lot with him and Katie and him
Mhm.
and Gabby. So I think the fallout happens at the at the
Yeah.
final two after Ariel is already gone. And that kind of
Mhm.
leads to this
Mhm.
final rose ceremony. What do you think?
KG,
Am I
you're
on
on
something?
to something. Listen, that's good because yeah, that would make sense with kind of what I was trying to say earlier about the outfits, right? Where we see
Mhm.
Gabby wearing the purple, but then the cream when she's upset. So I think actually it might be flipped around where whatever they do with her in the purple outfit is the fantasy suite date. But the final
Mhm.
2 date is her in the cream on the boat. And so all of that would happen after Fantasy Suite week, after maybe Ariel left. Um, but yeah, maybe it just starts to get to Zach of what ended up happening, and he just wants to be honest with Gabby or whatever. So yeah, well, man, that was good. We'll have to see
I kind of got
what
chills. I'm impressed
happens.
with myself.
I do like the idea of him winning Katie back, but I will say it's similar to kind of what happened with Susie. So I kind of hope that
Mhm.
it's just I do kind of want just like a normal season ending of like, just
Sure.
break up with one and get engaged to the other. But either way, it's gonna be dramatic. Whatever happens next week is gonna be quite interesting. Zach is gonna be in some hot water. So we'll figure it all
I
out
can't
together.
wait.
We're going to be back here on Shared News to break it down with you guys next week. But please let us know in the comment section below all of your thoughts and all of our takes of this preview breakdown for Fantasy Suite Week. And don't forget before you go to give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out when we do give you guys updates and we do break down the next episode. Once again, I'm Kayla Thompson, joined with Kayla Galloway. Make sure you come follow us on Instagram and on TikTok. But thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.